My name is Ruth Canning. I'm a lecturer in history here at Liverpool Hope University. I specialise in early modern history, and I like to take my students, my second year students, from a course on witch beliefs and witch hunting in early modern England and North America to the archives to look at primary sources. One of the sources that I really like to show my students is this, Fox's Book of Murders, or Acts of Monuments. What I particularly like showing them are the illustrations because it really brings to life kind of persecution of Christians, but also aspects of torture, because these are things that we talk about in the course on witchcraft. We also talk about the radicalization of religion and the circulation of print and propaganda. And I think this is a perfect example of imagery used for propagandist purposes in the early modern period. So as you can see from this engraving from Fox's Acts and Monuments, it's sort of like an homage to 101 Ways to Die, or How to Kill Christians, effectively. But one of my favorites that I like to draw my students' attention to every year is this one in the middle, which is effectively a lecturer being stabbed to death by his students with penknives. So we do a lot of primary source reading in my course on early modern witch hunting and witch beliefs. But the thing is students are looking at extracts that are just cut and paste into Word documents. Coming to the archives, they actually get to see early modern sources and handle them. They get to see a vellum Bible, for instance. They get to see how these things are made, the colors that are used. But they also get to see the woodcuts that we talk about in the sources that they're reading. And things like this imagery from the book from the Book of Martyrs by John Fox, or the Acts and Monuments, really illustrates the kind of propaganda that was being used at the time, and students really get an opportunity to engage with the imagery and the sources whilst using the archives. Special collections really benefits my students because they get to experience what it's like to be a historian working in archives. That it's not something that can just always be done on the internet or in the classroom. They get this very unique opportunity here at Liverpool Hope to actually handle manuscripts and books, rare books from the 16th, 17th century, as well as the 15th century. And it really helps excite their interest in early modern history because it is a history that they often feel very detached from. So being able to handle sources from the period makes them feel more engaged, and they really get excited about seeing the imagery and thinking about who owned the books and who read the books and how they circulated. I love working with students in the reading rooms. It really brings history to life for them. Things that they might not have thought they were interested in, they tend to suddenly have their interest sparked while working in these collections. It also exposes them to things that they wouldn't normally get to see. So whilst we are studying early modern witchcraft, for instance, they're also being exposed to things like Mercator's maps, getting to see the sea monsters, for instance, and looking at how place names have altered through history. But it really sort of gets them engaged with the people of the past. It makes it more real.